Hi, and today I'm going to be talking about Diet Coke and whether or not it's okay to have Diet Coke when you're intermittent fasting. But a more important question is, can you drink Diet Coke during your fasting window? Now this video came out as a result of going shopping with my wife, and while we were shopping I was feeling thirsty. And my wife said, well, I've got some Diet Coke here, would you like some? Well, I wasn't sure, so I asked her the question, how many calories does Diet Coke have in it? Now this is a 330 milliliter can, and it actually says on the side it has 1 calorie. But I thought, well, I'm just not sure. So I then looked further and I looked at the ingredients on the back of it, and it has things like colour caramel E150D, and I thought, well, what on earth is that? It's also got things like sweeteners like aspartame, and it also has phosphoric acid. So I didn't drink it, and I'm glad I didn't. And this video explains why I'm glad I didn't and whether you should do when you're intermittent fasting. So I checked on NutriCheck to see how many calories a 330 milliliter can of Coke, and lo and behold, it did say it did have the 1 calorie. Which you'd think on the face is actually okay, because that's half the amount of calories that's in a black coffee, which is okay to drink while you're fasting. So I thought, okay, check box there, and I thought, well, okay, that's right, I can drink Diet Coke, but no, you can't. So the ingredients in there, or the main ingredient in Diet Coke is actually carbonated water, and all that is where you the process of forcing carbon dioxide into water, which makes it fizzy. Now it's actually okay to drink just carbonated water on its own. That won't break a fast, that's just water essentially. So that, fine, tick in the box. The next ingredient is the worrying one for me, and it's got this caramel E150D, which essentially is caramel colouring. And that's made by treating carbohydrates. Apparently it's mainly from sweet corn, and during the heating treatment it's mixed with ammonium and sulfite. Well, on the face of it, that doesn't sound very nice, and I'm glad I didn't drink it, because when you put these heat treated caramel colourings in your body, it creates something called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs for short. And what on earth is that? Well, I don't really exactly know what that is, but the important thing is I researched what it does to you, and it creates something called sticky proteins inside your body, and that's in your arteries, brain, in your pancreas, liver, and in your kidneys. And AGEs are implicated in aging and the development or worsening of many degenerative diseases such as diabetes, thickening or hardening of the arteries, chronic kidney disease, and Alzheimer's disease. Well, one of the reasons I'm doing intermittent fasting is certainly to avoid diabetes, and it has the effect of helping to reverse type 2 diabetes, and it also helps, from research, with Alzheimer's disease, which they argue is as a result of inflammation, and intermittent fasting helps lower inflammation and oxidative stress within the body. So perhaps caramel E150D is not a good thing to have after all. The next thing on the list is sweeteners, and there are 2 types of sweeteners. The first one is aspartame. Now, having artificial sweeteners like aspartame can result in the release of insulin from the pancreas, because it's mistaken as glucose, and that's due to the sweet taste of it. And in fact, there have been studies in mice that show that aspartame affects gut bacteria too, and that could lead to insulin resistance. And that's something that intermittent fasting can reverse or improve. So the last thing you want to do is to be adding to insulin resistance if that's something that you are or you'll have it inside your body. There was also a study on humans this time that showed that those who used artificial sweeteners had higher insulin resistance. So it was proved in mice and it was proved in humans. So there's an increased risk of diabetes, and there are also studies that show that aspartame is a carcinogenic, i.e. it causes cancer. So another cross in the box. The second sweetener that is in Diet Coke is something called acesulfame K, or ACE K for short. Now, ACE K can also unsettle gut microbiome, and this was found out as a result of a study in mice. And after a 4-week treatment, ACE K increased body weight, but funny enough, that was in the male mice and not the female mice. But that doesn't possibly mean that female humans can drink it and not worry about it. I don't think that was conclusive. In the PubMed journal, there was a comment that says that the results may show there is a link between artificial sweetener and the gut microbiome, as well as an association with obesity and associated chronic inflammation. And there is a risk of or an increased risk of diabetes if you take on ACE K. So again, not particularly good. In addition to the above, it also includes some natural flavourings. And the first one of these is caffeine. Well, caffeine is actually okay because coffee contains caffeine and it's fairly harmful as long as you are a healthy adult. So that's actually not a problem. The next thing on the list is phosphoric acid. Well, actually, phosphoric acid is an irritant and quite corrosive. So not only will it'll be not very good for your teeth, it's not good for your skin. Well, you're not putting it on your skin. Not good for the eyes. Well, you're not putting it in your eyes, so that's not a problem. But it can affect other mucous membranes of the human body. Now, I don't know if you've ever done the test, but if you put Coke in a glass with some really tainted coins and leave it, and I can't remember how long you leave it for, but leave it for a short while, probably a few days, it will clean them. And that's probably the effect of the phosphoric acid. It's effectively stripping off all of the build-up, or I think it's probably from oxidization on the outside of those coins. Now, if you think about putting that inside your body, well, you may want to think again. The other natural flavouring is citric acid, which does have antioxidant properties, and is a substance formed and necessary for metabolism. And interestingly, citric acid is probably quite a good thing to prepare your gut for breakfast or before you break your fast. So perhaps it's not something you should be having during your fast, although probably the quantities in something like Diet Coke are very minimal, so it probably won't affect you. But even so, I'm not worried about the citric acid, I'm worried about all the other things that we've gone through. I hope that answers the question. On the face of it, Diet Coke, yes, it's got 1 calorie, which is half that of coffee, and that coffee is okay to drink during your fasting window. But it's not just about how many calories. It's about all of the things that I've listed in this video that suggest that you shouldn't be drinking Diet Coke either during your fasting window or afterwards because of the damaging effects of the contents or the ingredients of Diet Coke. I hope you enjoyed that video. Thank you very much for listening, and bye for now.